an oak tree gets eaten by caterpillars one spring. The following year, that same tree does something remarkable. It delays growing its leaves. Not by much, about 3 days. 3 days sounds trivial. It isn't. Because caterpillar eggs hatch on a schedule tied to temperature, and the newly hatched larvae have a very short window to find food before they starve. Delay the leaves by 3 days and a significant portion of that generation dies before it ever gets a meal. The tree didn't grow thorns. It didn't produce toxins. It just waited and used the caterpillar's own timing against them. Today on Nature's Finest, the surprisingly sophisticated things plants do, why we consistently underestimate them, and where the honest line sits between remarkable biology and the version of this story the internet gets wrong. Because this field has a real problem, the science is genuinely astonishing, and the popular retelling of it has gone so far past the evidence that serious researchers now wince when it comes up. So let's do it properly. Start with the oak. What that tree is doing has a name: induced defense. The plant detects damage, and that detection changes its behavior in the future. Not a fixed response running on a calendar, a conditional response, based on what happened previously. And the mechanism is chemical. When a leaf is being chewed, the plant registers it, through wound signals, and in some cases through specific compounds in insect saliva that identify what kind of animal is doing the eating. That detection triggers a cascade of internal signaling that can alter growth timing, chemical composition, and defensive investment. So the tree is doing 3 things that sound uncomfortably cognitive: detecting an event, storing something about it, and modifying future behavior accordingly. I want to be precise about that language, because this is exactly where the popular version goes off the rails. That is not memory in the way you have memories. There's no recollection, no experience of the past, nothing that could be called awareness. What there is a persistent chemical and epigenetic state change that alters how the organism responds later. But notice, that's also a reasonable description of a great deal of what happens in a nervous system. The difference is architecture and speed, not the presence or absence of information processing. Plants process information. They just do it chemically, slowly, and without a brain to centralize it. And once you accept that framing, the catalog of what plants actually do gets remarkable fast. They signal to each other, chemically, through the air. When many plants are attacked, they release volatile organic compounds. Neighboring plants exposed to those compounds can preemptively increase their own defenses before anything has touched them. Here's the important nuance that gets lost. This is usually described as trees warning each other, which implies intent and altruism. The better supported interpretation is less charming and more interesting. The compounds may primarily be internal signaling, one part of a plant communicating with another part, since plants have no nervous system to route messages internally. Neighbors are essentially eavesdropping on a broadcast that wasn't addressed to them. Whether that counts as communication depends on definitions. But functionally, the information moves, and the receiving plants benefit. They recruit bodyguards. This one is extraordinary. Some plants under insect attack release specific volatile blends that attract predatory or parasitic insects, species that hunt the herbivore currently eating the plant. The chemical signature can be specific enough to correspond to the type of attacker. So the plant is not defending itself directly. It's issuing a chemical advertisement that summons something else to do it. A 3-way relationship between plant, herbivore, and predator, mediated entirely by airborne chemistry. They connect underground. Plant roots associate with fungal networks, mycorrhizae, in relationships that have existed for hundreds of millions of years. The fungus extends the effective reach of the root system enormously, delivering water and nutrients, and receives sugars from the plant in return. It's one of the oldest and most successful partnerships in the history of life on land. And this is where I have to be careful, because this is the single most exaggerated topic in popular science. You've heard the phrase, the wood wide web, the claim that forests are wired into a cooperative internet where mother trees deliberately feed their offspring and share resources with the sick. Here's the honest state of that science. The fungal networks are real and important. The idea that they function as a deliberate, cooperative resource-sharing system, directing help where it's needed is contested, and several prominent researchers have published critiques arguing the popular narrative substantially outruns the evidence. Some findings have proven difficult to replicate. Some observed transfers may reflect the fungus pursuing its own interests, rather than trees helping each other. And a fungus connected to many trees is not a neutral cable. It's an organism with its own agenda. I'm telling you this because I think it matters more than any individual fact. The real biology is astonishing enough that it doesn't need embellishment, and when the embellished version collapses, it takes public trust in the genuine findings with it. So why do we underestimate plants so consistently in the first place? I think it's a bias about speed. We recognize agency in things that move on our timescale. A plant responding over hours or days doesn't register as doing anything, it registers as scenery. Time-lapse photography demolishes that instantly. Speed a plant up and you see what's actually there. Vines actively searching for supports, tendrils circling until they find contact, roots probing and turning away from obstacles, leaves tracking light across a day. It looks like behavior because, in every functional sense, it is behavior. We simply can't perceive it at the frame rate we live at. And plants have solved problems that ought to be impressive by any standard. They're immobile, they can't flee, hide, or chase. So every solution has to be chemical, structural, or timing-based. They have no central controller, so decisions get made in a distributed way across the whole organism. They can lose large portions of their body and continue functioning, which no animal can do. That's not a simpler solution to life than ours. It's an entirely different one, arrived at independently, and it has been extraordinarily successful. Plants make up the overwhelming majority of the biomass on this planet. By the numbers, animals are the unusual experiment. So here's the thought I'll leave you with. The oak delaying its leaves by 3 days isn't cunning. There's no plan, no intention, no awareness of caterpillars as enemies. What there is a lineage of trees shaped over millions of years by the simple fact that the ones which happened to delay slightly after a bad year left more descendants. That's the honest version. And I'd argue it's more remarkable than the version where the tree is thinking, because it means this level of apparent strategy emerged with nobody strategizing. The behavior looks designed. Nothing designed it. That's what's genuinely worth sitting with. Not that plants might secretly be like us. That something so unlike us can produce solutions this elegant, using none of the equipment we assume is necessary for solving anything. The forest isn't thinking. It's doing something arguably stranger, and it's been doing it for 400 million years, entirely without needing anyone to notice. If this changed how you see a tree, the next episode is for you. The fungal networks themselves, what the evidence actually supports, and why the wood wide web became science's most beloved overstatement. That video's on your screen right now, and the full plant series is linked in the description below. Subscribe to Nature's Finest for new natural world deep dives every week, the mechanisms, the marvels, and the honest science behind both. And tell me in the comments, what's the most surprising thing you've ever seen a plant do? Houseplants absolutely count. I read every one. See you in the next one.